Hey folks, today we are heading out on a 2-hour road trip in none other than the Dodge Journey RT model. It's been a while since I've showed this Journey some love. We've got the pup in the back, which you can't see. I am not driving today. That is Alexa's job. And I just want to touch base with this Journey again. I didn't do it justice before, and it needs to be done now. Anyway, this is the 2013 Dodge Journey RT with the 3.6-liter Pentastar V6 with right around 300 horsepower and a 6-speed automatic transmission with the shifting ability. This is the perfect car, the best way to describe this vehicle, and I found this vehicle for her, so I can say this. But this is the luxury econo box. Basically, this is the perfect car for younger individuals such as us who are looking for 3 rows, a DVD player if you have kids, which we do not, thankfully, and a row back there for the dog. Comment. So this is the perfect car for you people just starting out in life who need all-wheel drive, enough horsepower to go 0 to 60 in, I believe, 7 seconds. Not totally sure on that. And for those of you younger people or older people who may not want a minivan but want the usability of the minivan. And that is what this gives you in an all-wheel drive package with a great infotainment system, heated front seats, heated steering wheel, no heated rear seats, that's okay, but a fair amount of room back there and a optional DVD player with a sunroof. This model is optioned out to, I believe, every check mark that is available when you in 2013 when you went to pre-order this vehicle, and it started right around $30,000 to $35,000. So to put that into perspective, you get most, I would say, half the features, maybe 3/4 of the features that Mercedes-Benz or maybe even my truck has at basically half the price. So buying this brand new was not a bad option, and even trying to find one of these used is not a bad option as well. You can see that the fit and finish is similar to that of like a cheaper Dodge product, like a 200 before they redesigned, or a Dodge Dart. But nonetheless, it's all still soft to the touch. Everything's soft to the touch. And for the money, it really provides you a great experience. I have to say I like this infotainment a lot because it's very simple. It's to the point. Not a lot of buttons. Everything can be accessed right here with the 8.4-inch Uconnect system. We haven't tried the DVD player out yet, but we may at some point. Everything is very simple. The steering wheel is great. You have something similar to the 2014 and older Chrysler 300s and Dodge Chargers right there with your gauge cluster with the little digital cluster in the middle. And you have the 9-speaker Alpine sound system, which I think sounds better than the Harman Kardon system in my Ram truck. And I also had this Alpine sound system in my Night Edition Ram that I had a few years ago, and that was much better than the Harman Kardon in my truck. Overall, it rides pretty well. It's very similar to the Town & Country minivan. If any of you have rode on that, rode in that, it's very smooth. Nothing sporty about it, although this RT does give you some sportier rims, gives you a little bit of a tighter suspension, and has that larger engine in it. And to tell you the truth, this car does need the larger engine because it is quite slow with the 4-cylinder engine in it. And the 6-cylinder definitely provides you with enough gusto to get you where you need to go fast. Fuel economy on this SUV is what you would expect. You can get about 26 to 27 on the highway and in the teens in the city. It's winter right now, so we're getting a little bit less. And this, I should say, also has 112,000 miles on it. So there's been some normal wear and tear items on it. I had to replace a battery, I believe. Had a battery issue, electrical issue. Didn't cost a lot of money to replace. And we do have a leaky CV joint that just comes with time and age. This is almost 10 years old now, so it is a little older of a vehicle. But for 2013, this came with a ton of features that anybody who was going to buy this brand new at $30,000 to $35,000 would love. So the fit and finish is great. The sunroof is a nice added touch. This is really cool to see what your rear passengers are doing, like the dog. It's got the DVD player for the kids. When they sit back there, they can just be quiet and watch the video, watch SpongeBob or whatever they want to watch. And yeah, I love the ride of this vehicle. It's very smooth. When I drive it, I just like how smooth it is compared to my truck or even the Genesis that I used to have. Although that Mercedes-Benz now is the best driving vehicle I have been in recently. But this is right up there. And let me tell you, these tires and rims that are on here are pretty much indestructible so far. I do need to feel like I need to touch on the negatives as well. And, you know, you get that with the price point you are buying, but some of the exterior pieces and the interior pieces are cheap. There's no getting around that hard plastic area there. You can see there's a crack right there because it's just really cheap, but that comes with the price point you are paying. One other thing I should say is that the build quality, again, you have some build quality issues at 112,000 miles. The seats are very uncomfortable. I do want to point that out. I mean, these are probably some of the most uncomfortable seats I've ever sat in. And Alexa can attest to that too. I mean, I had a 2011 Chrysler 200 hardtop convertible, and that's exactly what these seats feel like they are out of. Just something of the Chrysler Sebring era, you know, of 20 years ago, basically now. They're very uncomfortable, but they are heated, and they does have a heated steering wheel. I should say the rear seats are actually very comfortable. The driver and passenger seats are not. They just don't have a lot of bolstering on them. There's no back support whatsoever, and your ass always feels like it's, I mean, you can see that's as far as I can push down and you're hitting plastic because of this design underneath the seat where you have storage for your gun or whatever you want to put under there.
So where are we going now?
Right now we're heading out to the cities, so we want to go straight. Okay. And then there's an exit up there. We can go to the right. Anyway, I'm going to continue this review once we hop on the highway. Hopping onto the highway here, you're going to notice that the Journey has enough power to get it up to where it needs to be, up to speed around 70 to 80 miles an hour, just fine. Has a nice engine note too. I am very fond of this 3.6 liter engine. I had this in my 200 that I had, and I liked it a lot. It was fuel efficient, the transmission shifted nice. It was just a very, very nice engine. Not the best sound, but not the worst sound. It's kind of right in there in the middle. You can see another cost-cutting technique used here for Chrysler when they made this was the amount of wind noise let in the cabin. But you know, if you have kids in the car, or if you have a dog, or if you just blare the music like most people do, you're not even going to notice that. So, just some negatives about the vehicle to watch out for, but for 112,000 miles, we've had less problems with this car owning it from 90,000 miles to now. Over 20,000 miles of use and almost 2 years of use. We have noticed less problems with this vehicle than we have with my Ram truck and also the Genesis that I had before this. So this is a very trustworthy vehicle, very, very reliable, and it looks good. It looks good for the younger buyer out there looking for basically a budget car, and you don't want to spend the money on the Durango, and you want to buy a Journey, or you don't want to get something that looks like a Traverse or an Acadia or a Terrain, and you want something that looks sporty and younger. This is the vehicle for you. Highly recommend this with a 3.6 liter. This is a perfect highway cruiser.